So here talking about completely your local regulatory. Local regulatory, not your, you can say, control. Question is talking about your land of the law, regulation, not a control. So D is more relevant because they are talking about primary. Okay. Okay. Next question. Now, team, question saying when security manager is formulating an info security program, that means he is going to develop, right? He is going to formalize the info security program. Which method is most effective in ensuring successful implementation plan? Okay. So, if you see, when you are going to develop any security program, so for example, you are going to develop, DLP in your organization. Okay. This is a security program, you can say. So, what we need to understand, you are going to build one governance. That means your security governance for DLP implementation. How you are going to build governance? Definitely, you are trying to understand the rules, then your regulation, then your policy. Policy means what? Policy means your regulatory procedure policy of the particular, you can say, organization, or you can say land of the law. Okay. On base of this, you are going to develop your governance. Now, when you are going to develop governance, you know that there are two types of governance: your enterprise governance and your security, enterprise governance containing two types of governance: your info security governance and your IT governance. Right? I'm not going to teach governance, but just highlighting. Your IT governance managed by your CIO, that is completely IT operation, and security governance managed by your CISO. When you achieve CISM, you become a CISO, then you have to drive your info security governance. Right? And info security governance, you know that you have a governance. On base of governance, you are going to develop your policy. On base of governance, you are going to develop your standard. And base of governance, you are going to develop your procedure. On base of your procedure, you are going to develop your guideline and baseline. Okay. So any security program you want to implement, your governance is the most important. How you are going to implement? You know that when you are going to develop, implement DLP, you need, architecture diagram. And that architecture diagram approved by all steering committee holders, right? Because you are going to develop, implement DLP, or maybe you are going to implement any policy. You have to take buy-in. You have to take a sign up for all stakeholders. You can't enforce. You can't say, no, I am a security professional. I am a CISO. You have to follow this rule. No. Right? You have to take everybody buy-in, everybody, you can say, approval. After that, you can implement, because your security program completely aligned with business objective, and your business objective completely aligned with your governance, right? So governance is most important here. The answer is A. Guidelines is not mandatory, policy is mandatory, metrics, you know, that is all about you are going to evaluate what you have implemented, right? So for example, DLP you have implemented, you are trying to, test his result. Now earlier without DLP, data leak was huge, but after DLP, data leak is just 2%. So this is the one type of metrics you can say. Policy, you know that policy and guideline completely rely on governance. So governance is the answer. Okay, next slide. The governance driven by management. Management will enforce governance. So the governance itself. See, first you have to understand what is governance. Governance is nothing, it's a set of operation. What is operation? You have a policy, process, procedure which you are going to govern, you are going to enforce. Right? This is all about governance. If you are not having effective governance in your organization, there's a huge risk, right? Huge risk. It will take approx 2 hours to understand about governance in effective terms, you can say. Okay. 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 So next question: when constructing a business case to advocate for an info security investment, which of the following factors best enable senior management to make well-formed decision? So here keyword is your business case and then well-formed decision. Who is going to take? Senior management. That means your board, right? Now question is that if you want to, first you have to understand what is business case. So business case is, for example, you identify some gaps and you need some solution. So you have to develop a business case which completely rely on your cost benefit analysis. And you have to provide this present this business case in front of board, and board will understand the business case, and after that they will allot the budget for you. So for example, you do, we did a risk assessment, identify, okay, we need antivirus, we need EDR solution. So what you need to do, you have to develop a business case. A business is completely is a cost, you can say cost benefit analysis. What is the impact? And after implementing EDR, how much you can reduce the risk? And what is the benefit to the business? Because I always said that info security role as a CISM, when you achieve CISM, you have capability to make a bridge between operation team and business team. Because business team, if you are going to say, I need EDR is, is a very good tool, blah, blah things. They will say, Mr. CISO, Mr. Info Security Manager, I don't know what is EDR all about. Please tell me what is the benefit. If you are implementing EDR and cost is $1,000 yearly, what is the benefit? We are able to save $10,000 yearly. Such data I need. And this is all about your business case. Okay? That where you have to provide what is the impact, what is the current impact, and when you implement the control, how much you can reduce the impact and what is the benefit to the business. Okay? So how you are going to do this? BIA is a part of BCP Mahesh. Okay? Where you are going to identify your critical function to run your business. Okay? So what you need to do first, definitely, question is saying senior management to make well-informed decision. So you are going to embed your risk assessment result in business business case case completely rely on your risk assessment result. And risk assessment result means what? Maybe your qualitative and maybe your quantitative, right? High, medium, low, or maybe you are going to say, we are losing yearly $100K. And if you implement this control, we can save $90K. Okay? Such type of data you will get from risk assessment. You know that risk assessment, risk management have 4 phases: risk identification, risk assessment or analysis, risk evaluation, and risk response, right? So risk assessment phase, where you have to do qualitative and quantitative risk assessment, will provide exact data where you can provide to top leadership, and top leadership will take a decision on base of your impact. Okay? You can also say impact analysis. Okay, so answer is D. Okay, try next. Okay, which of the following approaches will most effectively ensure that new IT policies are tailored to meet the enterprise specific requirement? IT policy tailored to meet enterprise specific requirement, right? This is a keyword. Yeah, definitely your answer is right. It says B. So when you are going to implement policy, any process, anything you are going to enforce in your organization also, if you visualize, if you recall, that policy approved by your steering committee. The steering committee, that What is a standing committee? A standing committee consists of all head of department. So for example, your cybersecurity, your CISO also there, your IT operation, your CIO also there. If CISO is not reporting to CIO, the old school, still CISO is reporting to CIO. This is a very bad governance model. Okay, so this is a different thing. During CISM, we have to discuss about this. What is the bad security model, and what is the bad security governance, and what is the good governance? Okay, so if you are going to develop any policy, you have to connect with all process owner, because you have to understand their concern. On base of their concern, you have to develop your policy. Now I'm giving exact example. So for example, you are going to develop one encryption policy or cryptography policy. Now this cryptography policy you are going to enforce globally, because your organization is having branch every country, for example. But you know that many country is completely banned cryptography algorithm. So for example, Russia, Brunei, USA also banned some algorithm. And if you enforce, definitely that country, your centers or your process will impact, right? So you have to understand their policy, process, guidelines, regulation. On base of that, you have to develop your policy, right? So you have to engage your all process owner if you're going to craft any process. And this is the most effective way to ensure your IT policy. Okay, so answer is your B. Apart from B, if you see A, mandate acknowledgement for process user to confirm comprehensive, no. Process user will not work. You have to engage your owners. Okay, empower policy owner with enhanced. You can empower. You are going to develop policy, but approved by senior management. You can't enforce, right? You can't say that you have to follow, right? D, say include IT leadership to formulation and development of new policy. See, they are not going to develop. They are not going to formulate any policy. They will just raise a concern. You have to take their consent, their concern, and on base of that, you have to develop policy. They are not going to sit with you and they are going to develop policy. No. See, password policy, you are going to develop. You have to reach out to process owner. One process owner is saying, see, we have a 10 server, and if you will enforce 20 correct password, we are not able to enforce because we require minimum 30 correct. So this policy will not work here. Or you can say, no, because you can't use 20 correct, 20 correct password, we need only 10 correct because that system is not taking. So you have to take consent, right? Okay. Okay, try next question, team. This one. Okay. So they're saying why we are performing, frequently basis, regularly basic pen test for mainly internet facing application. Okay. Okay. First, verify the proper configuration. Why you are going to verify? Definitely you are verifying proper configuration. You will, if any flaw in there in configuration, that means the vulnerability, right? Okay. Monitor evaluation emerging threat at landscape. You can't monitor through pen test, right? You have to have threat intel. So this one out. Ensuring compliance with relevant policy. Through pen test, you can't ensure compliance but policy. Okay, so this one also out. Identify and analyze vulnerability present in the system. Yes. What vulnerability you have? Because VAPT itself, you have to first identify the vulnerability and you have to exploit that vulnerability to understand your system is able to protect or not, right? So you can say A is embedded in D. That means D is covering A as well. So D is right answer. Okay. Okay, try next. Okay, Maria, the CISO at manufacturing company is initiating a new cyber risk governance process. To ensure the success of this process, what should be the first step for Maria to undertake? That means you can take, you can say you are a CISO and you are going to develop any, governance process. What do you need to do? Definitely, you have to reach out to security steering committee, right? To understand our business leader or head of department. And after that, you are trying to understand their consent, their challenges, and their resource requirement. And after that, you are going to develop. This is the actually terms, right? So which one are you meeting? You can just think. Creating RACI matrix. RACI matrix is all about to providing the roles and accountability, right? So this one out. Convenes a security steering committee with representation of IT. No, not require representation, right? Definitely you are going to reach out and after that taking consent and do. So this is the relevant, you can say, you can park. Design a risk management process, inspire. You are not going to inspire. You are not going to develop any process to inspire someone. So this one out. Assemble a security steering committee that includes IT security, blah, blah. Okay. So B also relevant. But if you see, D is covering A. No, sorry, D is covering B as well. That means if you are going to develop anything, you have to assemble, you have to, invite, you have to, create one meeting invite to all steering committee member, and you have to give your presentation about governance, their process, and their take a consent. After presentation, you can share your draft as well. And you can take their sign. Okay. If they are giving some feedback, you have to incorporate that feedback as well. Okay. So this is the process. So answer is D. Okay. Try next. Yeah. The effectiveness of business case in acquiring funding for an info security investment is maximized when business case, definitely cost benefit analysis. And your cost benefit analysis always align with your organization strategy, right? What you want to achieve. So if you are going to achieve, implement any control, definitely you have to develop a business case. And that business case align with your business, your organization strategy, your business strategy, right? This is the concept we are actually following, right? So let's try directly correlate the investment with organization strategy. Yes, it's right. You can park. Adjust information security goal to be harmony with broader. No, you can't adjust. The security goal is a long term. You can't adjust as a business case, right? Business case have to have adjust with your organization goal. Okay, right? So this one out. Transform information security policy standard into explicit business requirement. But here talking about business case, right? Definitely, if you are going to develop your policy standard, it's completely aligned with your business requirement, right? But here talking about business, so this is not relevant. So you out convey the intention and directive of management regarding info security in a clear and concise manner. But how you are going to direct? Definitely, you are going to develop business case. A business case completely. Your business case is aligned with your business objective, then you will get to fund. Right? What is business objective? That means your business case is reflecting if you will provide the fund and if I will implement the control, it will actually help business to grow. Then you will get a fund. So A is right answer. Right? A is right answer. Great. Try next. Okay, which of the following is the most effective method for identifying social engineering attack? Okay, how you are going to identify most effective method for identifying social engineering attacks? Okay, provide comprehensive incident response training to entire staff. Okay, formulate and rigorous implement a policy that outline acceptable use of company resources, implement continuous real-time surveillance mechanism, for security related event, foster an environment that actively encourage a staff member to report suspicious and unusual behavior promptly. So you know that if you are going to identify any social engineering, you have to have security awareness training. If you are using tool, anything, because social engineering, you know that you will receive a call. And if you lack of security awareness training, your employee will not going to report, right? So if you want to effective reporting, you have to have and you have to provide frequently basis security awareness training, because security awareness training will change behavior of the employee. And you know that if you're providing security awareness training, after immediate security awareness training, you will get more incident. No, that way you can say incident reporting will increase. Why? Because all employees start following what they actually understand during security awareness training, right? So if you want to identify social engineering attack, definitely you have to have security awareness training frequently basis. This is the actually concept. Okay, let's try. Incident response. See, incident response to entire staff you can't give. Cost is matter, right? You can't actually train a whole your organization staff to do incident response. You have to provide only limited to your incident response team. Okay, so this one out, because social engineering attack is not only incident response team, the whole organization. Okay, prominent regulators implement policy. If you are implementing policy, also if you are not providing awareness session about policy, no one going to obey, right? This is also problem. So this one also out. Implement continuous. This is all about technical answer. That means you are going to implement a control. If you are going to implement control, but if you're not actually providing awareness training, the control will not effective. So this one also out. Now, option C is saying security awareness. Encourage a staff member to suspicious. How you are going to encourage? Security awareness training. So answer is D. Because your security awareness training will provide and will enhance vigilance among whole staff. Okay, and they will start actually reporting. So answer is D.